Okay, let's bring the meeting to order. Recycling Committee, March 5th, 2020, 2 p.m. Should we go around and introduce ourselves?
Okay. Lydia Vivante, Chris Wisniewski,
Christine Trees.
Jane Sharp,
Lonnie Briggs.
So your agendas, I forgot to put the welcome introductions and announcements, so. Does anybody have any announcements?
No, just read this article
Okay.
in the March 9th, New York.
Okay. Do you loan me your New Yorker? I'll wait until I get
Well, actually,
it's about-
I'm in the middle of my taxes. You can take it and return it to me.
Okay.
How about that?
But I'll be gone for a while, so
Oh,
we'll talk about that later. Okay, so the first thing on the agenda is the town meeting, which is Monday, April 27th. So on that, of course, is our plastic water bottle ban article. And Lydia and I have been working on outreach, so I passed around this, did I give you one? Yeah, there it is. I passed around what we've, sort of our to-do list and where we are on items. So far, we've met with Department of Public Works and with Cutlery, Health and Conservation Agent. And she is willing to send out a letter to businesses. Now, would you say that she is sending it out to educate and promote, or is it more just educate? I didn't know whether
I think the first, the educate and
the educate,
yeah,
okay.
providing the information. And,
Right.
Did anybody see that letter from Michael Rice 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago? Did somebody respond to it?
No, but Sustainable Practices is writing up a response to
okay.
it. Now, Lydia, do you have all the info you need to provide stuff?
well, I think that latest packet from Sustainable
Mhm.
Practices, that's all the current, the very latest. Right?
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
everything. And one of the things that Hillary was also willing to do is to talk to the town administrator about the possibility of doing maybe some stainless steel reusable bottles that have maybe the town seal on them or something, doing a bulk buy, and then I don't know if they can actually resell them to businesses. I wasn't really clear, but in any case, something along those lines. Because something, a contact at Chamber of Commerce had also suggested was to do some kind of a bulk buy and give good pricing to businesses. So we're on the agendas for Board of Health, Board of Water Commissioners, and Conservation Commission. And Lydia, what do you think we should do about these other energy and climate change?
Yeah, we could ask
Okay.
Carol Magna about that.
That's right.
Oh
doesn't
gosh,
she?
did I
She
put
usually
her?
comes to the meeting.
She does, and I
Sometime.
hope she was on the.
But we can certainly contact the chairs of each of those. I can do that if you want. Just
Yeah, if you're willing. So I'll be out of town until the 17th. I'll have email, so I'll continue trying to do whatever I can. But I'd rather not have any assignments. That's why I'm trying to get them all done before I leave. So the next thing was Chamber of Commerce. So Marcia Sexton, who's been on the board, I'm not sure if she still is, but still active with the Chamber, had some suggestions, which are in there. And so Lydia, we were talking about maybe having some kind of a handout, with some information in it. So Sustainable Practices has lots of information that I can send to you. They have this PowerPoint with, I love the chart they have
So
in
is
here.
this a town committee?
No, it's a nonprofit,
Oh, no.
and they're the ones that's, Maudie has come to our meetings before.
Oh,
and
okay.
it was their version that is being filed in all the towns that we
Oh, I
filed
remember.
here. Yeah. Anyway, she has this life cycle of a plastic bottle, which basically shows all the points of consumption and carbon emissions. Anyway, so we have lots of materials from them, and then also a fact sheet, which has got tons of information in it. And just a couple of pages that address the slides. Oops, I got my new credit cards.
the pre-town meeting hasn't been scheduled yet. They have to wait until the warrant, they know when the warrant's gonna be out.
Okay.
The warrant's not finished or not printed yet. So they can only schedule it, I guess, 2 weeks after the warrant's printed, apparently.
Okay.
And in terms of handing stuff out, we can do that at that meeting and also prepare something for town meeting.
Right.
Or at least have a poster at, at the tables as you first enter the school.
Mm-hmm. So that would be, so some kind of flyers and.
Yeah, I think with the slide, that kind of picture slide is
Uh-huh.
good.
Okay.
Little drawings. And we don't have to print hundreds, we could just do a
Yeah.
small amount or just have one main poster there.
Right. Since people wait in line there, maybe having a poster would be that they can look
Yeah.
at rather than
Yeah, that's a good
generating
idea.
more paper. And Monterey asked, I don't know if anyone saw it, the Wellfleet Road Race, they have this 6-foot plastic bottle it's made of plastic bottles. It has kind of a framework and then plastic bottles all over it. So she asked if, and I have to ask the moderator, that's something I need to put down on this.
It could probably be outside, I don't think it
Yeah,
could
that's
be
what they were
inside.
asking, is if they could put
Yeah.
it outside. And then we could have a person there, maybe with somethings.
Yeah.
Buttons.
Answer
Handouts.
questions
Yeah.
and promote the bylaw
Yeah.
or the article.
A big bottle, 6-foot plastic bottle. Yeah, so they wanted to find out if we could use that.
So if you do a poster, have you done posters before?
Mhm.
No?
Yeah, we've
Well,
had
we
little
do.
displays
Yeah.
there with alternatives
Yeah.
to plastics,
And-
basically.
and
Anything you'd
how do
like
you-
to help
And
with?
how do you do that? Like, how
Well,
do
you can create something on a bulletin board or, just a piece of foam core or something.
So, yeah, we just got like a piece of foam core and then just cut out things and put it on it.
You set it up, they have tables like this outside of the town meeting entrance
Yeah.
to the auditorium, and you can put your poster there,
Okay.
just kind of elbow,
Mhm.
because there's
The
other
other one's
people with
assigned.
posters too, so you
Right.
want to get there early.
Yes, except then they'll put theirs in front of ours. So, I mean, these are all of any participation that anybody is willing to do is obviously much appreciated. So Lydia, you can check with these other committees. So the rec department, it's really just a matter of talking
Mhm.
to Becky. Okay,
Yeah, there's also Friends of Recreation, so they might.
that's true. They
Yeah,
might have
Lord.
regular meetings. Who knows?
Yeah.
And Hillary also mentioned that we don't necessarily need to wait until we talk to all these people to go to select board. We could do that at any time. So what are your thoughts about when we would?
I know that all the meetings this month are dedicated to
The budget?
the warrant and things like that. They're
Uh-huh.
kind of closed in terms of getting on the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a meeting in late March.
They don't have any other business left at town meeting?
They're working on 2 specific things, the next 2 meetings. I don't recall what they are right now, but
Okay.
they're not adding anything else to the agenda for these 2 meetings. So
Okay.
it could be in April.
Okay.
Yeah.
We anticipate them being very supportive, so it's a courtesy to let them know what we're doing and why. So on the information from the chamber, Marcia had recommended reaching out to affected businesses, suggesting ways for them to transition away from water bottles and give them some other options. So other options are the canned water, which we can get samples of from Madhavi. I guess she has a relationship with Open Water, and they are providing samples. So that's something we could get some of those, and then if we go around to businesses, we can have a
Yeah, show them. That's
show
always
them
good.
what's
Have
available.
physical item.
Okay. So that's something we could ask her. She was going to come today, but then had a conflict. So
And are these the only businesses that?
those were just some types of places that Marcia mentioned. So Hillary has, the town has the list. Hillary has the list, so she'll be sending out a letter. And I guess in that letter, I suppose we should put some suggestions in there. Do you think, or
Of alternatives?
of the letter she's sending to
Mhm.
businesses.
We could include that in the information to Hillary.
Yeah. I mean, people like to buy branded stuff. If there were like water bottles with a Wellfleet seal or, entering Wellfleet, that kind of thing, that might be. At least,
Right.
and then if they can also offer information or offer themselves refill options, then at least they'd have something to potentially replace some of the lost revenue.
Yeah, and the added benefit of reusables is they don't have any containers to recycle or deal with afterwards.
Mhm. Absolutely. And then vacation rentals, she also mentioned that doing some outreach so that people are made aware. Of course, if this is passed, it wouldn't go into effect until September 21. But that doesn't mean that we wouldn't
No,
want
you
to.
could still,
Yeah.
make the case.
Right. So that's something that we kind of have to figure out how to do is, do we only go to businesses that are open or do we reach out to, I guess the letter really is the best way.
Yeah.
So maybe she could have information on there about emailing Wellfleet Recycles for questions or.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So the elementary school is, I was reading about the Vineyard Conservation Society. They helped pass any kind of small plastic bottles with sodas, carbonated, all kinds, in 3 towns on Martha's Vineyard. And one thing they did, I guess the elementary school had a zero waste week, and they did a tap challenge, kind of like the Coke Pepsi taste, where they had different types of bottled water and then town water, and
A
people
taste
tried to
test,
guess
yeah.
a taste test to to involve the kids. So that's something if anybody's I don't know how we can approach it. So I talked to my neighbor Martha, who's on the school board. She said the best thing to do is to talk to Mary Beth, the principal, and see what they mean. And she said to mention the word sustainable because that's like one of their that's one of their bullet points. Anything with that word in it is good. Also, I guess, to address transitions for the schools, because, if this were to pass in every town, then
Do they
They
have
would
these
need
things
to-
that sell foods in schools? I know they do in high schools. Do they have these sort of units?
vendor machines.
Vendor machines, yes.
I don't know if they have those in middle or if it's just in high school. I'm not sure.
Haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Maybe
what-
at the gymnasium, they might have it.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Right.
And then sometimes they have it in break rooms, they'll have a vending
Right.
machine in a break,
Yeah.
staff break room. But I don't know for sure.
So Martha had also suggested that, the Nauset district has a committee where all the town's representatives come. And she said that would be a good place to talk to them about, their transition and what it would mean to them and blah, blah, blah. And then letters of support. Yeah, I'm working on a letter to Melissa at Wellfleet Bay Audubon. And
Well, she gave a good talk here, didn't she? Melissa.
I'm sure she did.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She was Center for Coastal Studies and then
And
took
that,
over
yes,
for,
very good.
for yeah.
I remember it was very good. I can't remember what it was about.
I know. I feel that way about all the things I come to here. They're always interesting.
I remember she was very impressive.
Uh-huh. So you want to take your name off of this Provincetown Independent letter? and-
Well, I was hoping that maybe one of the others on the committee would like to work on a letter, at least draw up some ideas for it.
For
Letter to the editor
what's the focus though?
on
This
the
bottle ban.
commercial plastic water bottle ban.
It's basically just plugging it.
Well, I could have a go.
Yeah.
That'd be wonderful.
I mean, what's the time? I'm deep in my
Your
tax
taxes.
return, which includes all my little bits of UK money too. So I'm drowned at the moment. What would the time
Just
be?
before town meeting, let's say, because the town meeting is on April 27th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what were the dates that Madhavi said were, I guess like late March to.
So it's the focus is the bottle ban then.
Yes, and then I will email out all these materials that Sustainable Practices provided. Actually, I suppose I'm taking minutes too. I guess I better start doing that.
And Jane, and we also sent an email to Beth, but haven't heard back, but she may want to participate as well.
Okay, where is she out in the west?
She's away, yeah, but she'll be back.
I think she's
in
in
the next few
Mexico,
months.
didn't you say?
Yeah.
All these wimps who go for the sun.
I know. Well, you
They don't know what
usually
the-
go somewhere.
I
so
know, I go to
don't-
London where it
Yeah.
isn't sunny at all.
That's
And
true.
I'm not going this year, and I was feeling very glum about it, but the sun's been shining ever since. So.
Yeah, that's good. So where are we? Oh yeah, the tap. Yeah. So there's this.
Tap app.
It's supposed to be a P, isn't it? No, it's not a tab. It's a tap app. Anyway, so I downloaded it. It doesn't.
What does it mean?
Well, I have. It's an app. It's an app that you can load on your only on iOS devices. They don't have it for Android. And you can become an ambassador, and that means that you can enter data for your locality. So I signed up for that so I can enter stuff in. And when we were at DPW, I asked if we could enter.
Oh, I see.
in-
So I get it. So you can
yeah,
identify.
I should
yes.
have given the big picture. It's an app to find places to refill
Yes,
your
I
water
get you, I
bottles.
get you.
Yeah. And I remember Martha's Vineyard had done something when they passed them their ban, and I looked at it, and it's actually just a Google Maps thing where they place them on
So
the
that's a
little
good
map.
idea.
Yeah, for a little island that works great. So.
Yeah.
And what is the app called?
It's called Tap Refill Your. I have it on mine, so I can show that to you. It wasn't that easy to find.
Yeah.
Because it was something like tap, find water everywhere, anywhere, or something like that. I can show you afterwards. So one of the things is promoting it with businesses, because if they're willing to have the public come in and refill their bottles, then they can get a sticker in their window and get more traffic
Yes.
in. So that's it. Yes, that's it. Find water. So what was that
Put them
again?
on the map, literally.
Tap.
Find water
Anywhere.
anywhere. Okay. And there's like 3 things on the Cape in it right now, so got some work to do. Yeah, so we asked DPW about whether we could list, like town hall and COA and
Those are public buildings, so everyone can go inside.
into them, right?
During regular office hours
Right.
and business hours.
Yeah,
We want to have some of the exterior ones listed, the outdoor water
Right.
stations.
right.
And those would only be available in the good weather.
Right.
But
Yeah, so there'd both be restrictions on hours. But for example, PB has one now, but I think it's only a bubbler. Has anyone noticed whether it's got I don't think it's got a bottle refill, but you can hold your bottle there. Anyway, so that's that. Any other input on that topic? If not,
There's 3 in Cape Cod. Yeah.
yes,
it
that's
needs
what I
some more.
found. Yeah, it needs some more. Definitely.
So you had mentioned flyers, that you might want flyers.
Yeah,
for
so
town
we really
meeting.
should, for town meeting, and also something to give businesses that, sort of have some key bits of information and, offer solutions for them, ways to transition, other kinds of things. So the canned water is one.
Yeah.
If that's something
Yeah,
you'd
I'd
be
be
interested in.
happy to work on that if
That'd be
you give
awesome.
me all the
Yes.
parameters for it.
Yes, so I will email that to everybody. I'll email that. Then the next thing was the, at our January meeting, was it, or February? We talked about asking for more money in our budget, and for also finding out if we can put money for a new swap shop in our budget. So we talked to DPW. We happened to have a meeting about other things, about the water refill station at Town Hall after that meeting. After our last meeting, and they said they would look into whether they could put it. They said we can't put it in our budget. It has to be in their budget because they're the ones that are going to be executing it and.
it would be voted on at town meeting as a cost, as an override, so.
Yeah.
it's, would affect people's taxes, but
So,
not a
right,
whole
so
lot.
they said, he said he would find, Mark said he would find out from Dr. Dan if it was too late to add something to the capital budget. And what they came out was that, yes, it's too late to add it to the capital budget, they can just put it in as a petitioned article.
Is
And
Dr.
it
Dan
would
still
be an
with us? They got
override.
that down Hood?
Yeah, he's still here.
He's still here.
Mhm.
He did resign, didn't
He did.
he? And
but
came
it's-
back.
No,
Oh.
he just
Oh,
hasn't left yet.
He hasn't left yet.
They rehired him. Anyway, so they are putting it in as an override, so, you know, we'll have an effect on the tax rate, but, and he asked if we would help promote it, and we said, of course, we would do that, since we're very anxious, and to have a new swap shop. So did you email Roland about
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, he's excited about it. And
Excellent.
he said he presented at town meeting.
Wonderful.
Roland is the coordinator for the volunteers.
Yeah,
And have you got Heather?
One of our unsung heroes, isn't he, really?
he is, yes. And I ran into Mike at DPW this week. This week? Yes. And I asked, well, is it too early for you guys to start working on it? We don't know if it's going to pass. He said, oh no, we're looking at it. We're working on it.
Good, good.
The next thing was the budget update, which we had voted on. So apparently it was too late to request a budget increase after we spent a lot of work figuring out how much more we needed. We asked for $1,225 more, but we were told that it was too late. So what we have is $775 that we've had last year. And then we also became aware in our lengthy dealings with the accounting office and town office that there's $500 in the DPW budget for recycling committee, and we never knew about it.
Okay.
So it goes away every year.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we asked, we checked with Mark while we were there, and he goes, oh, yeah, it says recycling committee, that's your money. So now we know
Do we
about
have
that.
any backlog then? Can we get?
No, it goes away at the end. It's appropriated in that year's budget. So there actually, we couldn't figure out where an expense went. It was like deducted from the account we know about, and then it was transferred to another. And so in searching for who moved it where, we found that. They found that account, said, oh, it's on that one. So we just have to make sure that we talk to accounting to get that money into our budget.
Mhm.
So that's also a to-do thing that I will send an email to Jean. So that's the budget. Anything else on town meeting and town stuff?
I think so.
Okay, so programs outreach, boomerang bags. The next sewing bees are March 20 and April 10th. Do you want to talk about Earth Day?
Yes, so that beach cleanup is scheduled for Saturday, the 25th. It's going to be both beach and roadways. And I don't have a time of day yet, but we're waiting on that.
Is it all the beaches?
I don't think so. I think they're targeting some bay beaches. There could be ocean beaches too, and anyone's always welcome to go on their own.
You say Rotary, apart from the one down in Orleans, where are they?
Sorry?
Did you talk about Rotaries?
No,
No.
roadways.
Oh, roadways.
Roadways.
Oh, sorry.
But there is a lot of trash at the Rotary.
Yeah, there is.
It's just a long way
Sure.
away, yeah.
And one other thing we're doing is trying to get reusable bags rather than using trash bags for the cleanup. We're going to get reusable ones so they can be emptied. We'll fish out the recyclables like we did with the Costa Rica cleanup last September.
Mhm.
And
Lots of bags.
Oh, grain bags?
Horse bags.
Oh,
we do?
yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Real sturdy. They're much better than plastic.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
That would be good because I think there'll be a lot of volunteers. It's co-sponsored by the Welfare Conservation Trust, Shellfish Advisory Board, and others. So the more containers, bags we have, the better.
Who else is it
Excellent.
sponsored by?
Shellfish Advisory Board, and Welfare Conservation Trust. They're the main people.
And is there anything anywhere on anyone's website about the event?
They have, the Welfare Conservation Trust sent an email, I think, about the general 50th anniversary of Earth Day celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Okay.
But I think one of the coordinators is on a little vacation, so when she's back, I'm sure they're gonna,
Ramp it up.
March is when they're gonna start publicizing
Okay.
all the details.
Oh, that's right. It's not until April. Okay. And, I may have messed up and not added Carol. So I hope I did.
You mean about this meeting?
Yeah, about the change in time.
She usually comes. Oh, I
She
see what you
does.
mean, the change of date.
Yes.
Ah, yes,
yeah.
yes, I
I
see.
may have. So the next thing is Instagram posts. You've been away.
I have been away. I have been away. I'm just sort of taking notes as we're going along about
Uh-huh.
things that I could do.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like for Earth Day,
Mm-hmm.
if I go take a picture of some garbage on the beach, I could do some kind of post about that.
For sure. Sounds great.
And then eventually when we get to like the, trying to encourage the vacation renters
Uh-huh.
about the water bottles, I could
Mhm.
do something about that.
Great. And
it's-
you had talked about, I wonder if I wrote that here, that you were going to, you were willing to work on a flyer?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
And
And
then-
that would be businesses,
Mhm.
okay.
Businesses, and if you want one for town hall. Oh, town meeting.
Oh, for town meeting,
meetings.
right, okay.
And what was the other, oh, when do the water filling stations start up for the spring?
You mean the outdoor ones?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So we only have one outdoor one so
Mhm.
far at
The rec.
the rec center. They didn't put its little house on it that
Mhm.
Davis built. We told them that. They said, "Oh, it has a little cover." We go, "Yeah, it's kind of late though. It's for winter." One of the things I need to do. Well, we'll get that to refill, but to find out, get in touch with Harbor Master and find out what their timeline is for installing the unit that's been wintering in their garage.
Mhm.
That would be a good thing to publicize for sure.
Yes.
on
Yes.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Very much so,
So
yeah.
just before those go into,
Yeah.
or
Right.
right after. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we'll definitely do that.
Okay,
And I'm thinking something about the balloons too, when that
Yes.
goes into effect.
for sure.
I was just thinking this morning, the weather was so nice, I have this really nice picture that I forget who sent me of someone's wedding at Pres Hall using community cutlery.
And that was Vanessa's.
yeah, that
was Vanessa's,
Vanessa
yeah.
and Catherine.
And I have been kind of holding off on that, but
Mhm.
I'm thinking of putting it up and
Yeah.
just saying,
Yeah.
if you're planning a summer event or
Right.
something,
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So for the community cutlery, do they come to the library? How do they access that?
They're
Right.
supposed to phone the library, and then the library calls one of us to help with, say if it's a whole lot of it, to help them with sorting it out and signing it out.
So if
And where do they go live? Here? in the
Here,
library?
yeah, there's a room in the back that they
Mhm.
have some good storage,
so if I
limited storage.
so if I say contact the library,
Mhm.
that's the way
And they
to do
must
it.
always call you, or people call Lydia
Yeah.
directly because she's been
Yeah.
doing it for so
Sometimes-
long.
And, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
But we don't want to put your phone number on
No.
Instagram, so I'll say contact the library.
Right,
and
Yeah.
the
they'll
phone
come.
number for the library is 508-349-0310.
0310.
And that's the or they can go to wellfleetrecycles.org, our website, they can see what we have available.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think over time I'll
Mhm.
keep mentioning more things that we have available,
Mhm.
but I thought that would be a good one to start with.
Yeah, that's a good
Right.
idea. Spring
And
pictures.
then, I can do the boomerang bags, but I don't want every post to be about boomerang
Right.
bags.
Okay.
And I still have some more of the recycling tips I can post up, so
Great.
I'll keep going with that.
Okay. So the next thing is community cutlery. Do you want to talk about the status of that and library things?
Sure. Christine and I sorted through all of our flatware, all the silverware, and it looks like we have service for 300 people, about like that.
Mhm.
We're trying to determine the best size of a kit. Would it be 25 pieces? Would it be 14 or 12 or
Mhm.
what have you? Should we include the napkins in the kit so they can just check out a whole container of silverware and napkins, or should we separate them? So these are
Are
questions.
these reusable napkins?
Yep, these are the cotton ones that we bought
Excellent.
that are available now.
Right.
We have about 120 of them.
And those are the multicolored ones?
Mhm.
Mhm.
They're solid colors, but
Yeah,
all
but
different
all
colors.
different, yes,
Yeah, and they appear in that wedding.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So there's a meeting coming up on March 10th to try and determine, because they want to get it all barcoded, so there'll be a kit.
It's
Each
basically the first items going into the library of things.
Mhm.
So it
Yes.
will be barcoded and then checked out as part of library inventory. It's sort of the
Some of the-
pilot for,
That's
yeah.
really cool. It's
It's
exciting.
great.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest users are the Strawberry Festival, and I think that was at around 250.
Mm,
And also the elementary school spaghetti supper, that's a big
right.
amount there too.
So they did a really, Naomi and I guess Susie, she said helped her, did a great job cleaning out the storage room that they have. So they will have more room for us to keep stuff so that it doesn't have to be, Lydia coming over to meet somebody. They will be able to go back there and take it off the shelf kind of thing.
Mhm.
So that's very exciting. And I can send around I have a spreadsheet with all the kits, how much we have of everything. And we put sort of preliminary, how we thought maybe we'd have 25 of each item.
Yeah, I was thinking 20, 25 makes
Yeah,
sense, yeah.
but I was thinking also maybe doing multiples of a dozen, because like the napkins are in a dozen, and there's some other things that are in a dozen, wine glasses, and
You can kind of see how it works out too, like what numbers people are taking out. We looked through the little sign-out book,
Mhm.
and it really varies, I think. Mostly it's in the
Do you have
25 to
any
80.
cups? Any cups, tumblers?
Those are a little trickier. We have some carafes and bottles of different sizes made of glass.
Do you mean like mugs, coffee mugs?
Well, I was thinking, if people are having a beverage, are they
Yeah.
providing their own
Right.
receptacle for that, or do we have it in the kit?
Well, one thing I asked Spat about, because they bought all this branded Oyster Fest cups, which were really popular. And they're not going to do that again this year. They're just going to do everything in cans, because there's a problem with people walking out with liquids, you don't know what's in it, etc. But she said they had leftovers, and that they can donate a certain number, which would be really fun to have in the cutlery. They have both the small wine glasses
Oh, yeah.
and
So funny this
yeah.
time.
the little cute little stainless steel wine glasses.
Do we know numbers on that? You know how
I
many?
don't.
A lot or?
Not, they were really popular, so they sold a lot of them. I don't think it's, I would say, maybe they'd have a dozen or 2 dozen, I'm not sure. But we can add things. We have lots of dozens of wine glasses that I had bought for an event.
Go back to Tudor times and have pewter.
There you go.
Definitely reusable.
But this is just the beginning. We can also ask for donations from people.
Yeah.
Next thing is on refill. So I think we already covered that. We need to find out. So Lydia and I when we met with DPW, we also asked them about that. They just identified the one spot at Town Hall, which is at the foot of the emergency stairs, and we asked them to see if there was anything else on the lawn where it was already ADA compliant, so they didn't have to blast through all the cement. And the answer is no. So we're right back where we started 6 months later. So we now need to just figure out how to get $2,000 more for installation costs. So Spat did say we can send them a request, and they'll look at it. The board of directors will review it. If that doesn't work, then we'll also have this meeting with the water commissioners, and they were very interested too in promoting that, so they might have some money. And then our goal is to get that resolved in the next 6 weeks or so, and then put it in order and hopefully get it in by high season.
When the library has an event, what are they using? Cups and
They
things.
use ceramic cups for their coffee on Sundays.
Yes. Right.
Cups and saucers they have.
Yeah,
They're
like
not-
the Friends of the
Are they
Library.
plastic free? Is the library plastic free? Oh, that's very good.
But anybody that's holding an event here brings whatever they want.
Right.
So we're on the Friends Board, Friends of the
Yeah.
Library, and so
Yeah.
we're working on, we collected a whole bunch of mugs from the swap shop, with Tracy, and
Yeah.
tried that, and apparently they were some of them were just way too big. So they are more interested in just getting some like white mugs with the, the mermaid on them.
Oh, that's nice.
And so I mentioned at our meeting yesterday that, well, if we were going to buy them for like 5 events a year, how about we would put them in community cutlery? And then someone asked, well, we'll wash them properly, but how do we know they'll wash them properly? So they might have germs on them. But I really don't know the answer to that question.
Usually people, when they borrow it, they'll wash it all.
They will, yeah. So I
before
guess-
they use it and
Yeah.
after they use it. That's the way it should work.
So, I mean, there was some discomfort with people about, not having it washed in a commercial washer
Well,
where
I
it's
can see that you
sanitized.
wouldn't necessarily want to take something that somebody had just used for an event and washed at home. You might want to guarantee that it was washed before you stirred it, no?
I think just saying wash before you
Yeah,
use it and
wash before
after
you
you
Right.
use it.
Oh, wash
just-
before you use it.
Before and
Just
after,
like you would
yes.
at your own house.
Yes,
If
yes,
you're
yes.
trusting your dishwasher or
Yeah.
your dishwashing
Right.
skills. then
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
you're good.
Or if you store something down in your basement,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
wash
you
it
can
anyway.
wash it.
Yeah,
it's just that
that's
they're being
right.
stored somewhere, so you
Right.
can't guarantee that,
Yeah, well, so that's a good point. So some of these, things that are going to loan out, we're going to have sort of, this is what you need to do with it, and this is how much you pay if something breaks, and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that's to be determined.
One of the things we have in there is the 3-gallon drink dispenser, and that'll be more and more important for maybe some of these cottage colonies or hotels. They can have a dispenser in their lobby
Right.
room.
Yes.
And they have that I know they have it at the Sheraton in the lobby. They have a nice water dispenser, no plastic bottles anywhere, and also some cookies. I went to a
Nice.
meeting there once, and that's
And
what
where
they
was
had.
that?
The Sheraton Four
Oh.
Points in
Oh,
East
really?
Town.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So people could take a page from that and
Mhm.
have a similar setup
Yeah.
in their Airbnbs or
Mhm.
cottages or whatever.
Yeah. Which reminds me, back on community cutlery, so the things that were lost in the fire, so far we've just ordered the X-frames, which are the bags that,
I have some of the bags.
oh, you do, so they didn't all melt in the fire.
Oh, no, I took some from the road
Okay.
race.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good to
I have
know.
some,
We
some.
did order another box, so. But anyway, so those are, Mike was very kind, they were delivered to DPW, and he took them directly to the shed there. He said they just about filled up the space, but that's because it's not unpacked yet, so we have to go and unpack it and make sure everything's there. Anyway, so the rest of the stuff needs to be ordered still, so that's on my to-do list. And one of those things is the replacement for that beautiful stainless steel water
Water
cooler.
tank, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to show people, like for motel lobbies and all these kinds of places, as an example of a water cooler for refill. The next thing was carry in, carry out.
I have no news on that.
Okay.
It's kind of a bear. I don't know quite how to tackle it, but maybe just through the select board after town meeting, see
Yeah.
how they try and get some of the beach stakeholders together, like Suzanne Grow Thomas, and
Well, we probably have to come with a proposal for a
Mhm.
pilot project at a particular beach that
Mhm.
we think would be appropriate,
Yeah.
and then see what they think.
What happened to the Dennis one? Was it Dennis that was?
yeah, there were 3 small beaches. I don't know if they're doing it again. They might. It was kind of spearheaded by a group of volunteers like us. So and
Apparently, they were pretty small beaches, though, so nothing like the volume that.
We
You
have
get
Greta Thunberg come give us a talk.
You've got the contacts. You've got Fiona Hill.
Ah, yes.
She's going to be the distinguished speaker for the Friends of the Library in August. Yeah. Good job.
Well, she's an old pal.
Oh, she
I didn't
is.
have to
Oh,
work
okay.
very hard.
I thought Fiona Hill's coming to Lovely. How'd that happen? I said Jane Sharp, of course. That was very exciting. Yeah, carry in, carry out. I guess that's once town meeting is done, then maybe we can think about the next thing. Plastics and producer responsibility.
Anybody have any good experiences recently with avoiding plastic in the stores?
No, except apparently there's a campaign to get Amazon to get rid of plastics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm still getting things from Amazon.
Yeah.
In fact, I ordered a new washing up bowl, which was completely plastic, and it came in a huge cardboard box. And the plastic bowl was completely triple wrapped in plastic.
no.
I'm
Oh,
thinking,
geez.
how could anybody conceivably have thought this was a sensible thing to do? I mean, it's just anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But somebody is working on Amazon. I don't quite know
Oh.
in what.
Well, if you see anything about that,
yeah,
let us
I'll take a
know.
look at it.
I saw something, they have these repacking people who do
Mhm.
things for Amazon, and it's seemingly kind of wasteful because,
Sometimes the bag's much too big, you mean?
well, things are sent to individuals who run a little business repacking for Amazon.
Oh. Huh.
And then where it gets sent from there, it's all kind of mysterious because things get shuttled from warehouses to these individuals who repack, resend, and then they eventually get to you. So a lot of this repacking is done by individuals.
Oh.
And I mean,
Who may or may not have a thing about plastic, right?
yeah,
Unlikely.
if you wanted to start a little business, you could get in touch with Amazon and be one of these people. I mean, people start them just out of their houses. And
Huh.
yeah, it's kind of crazy, but.
And that's just to take something that's in bulk packaging and repackage individually?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's all kinds of
Yeah.
things going on with Amazon,
Mm.
kind of inexplicable, but
Yeah.
they
Well, I mean, when
make
you-
internal sense for them.
Right.
When you order a book that's possibly out of date, it gets outsourced to some itsy bitsy little bookseller
Yeah.
somewhere. So
Yes,
probably this
that
kind of
too.
thing, yeah.
Right.
Who
They-
send it
they-
out? They don't
yeah.
send it back to Amazon to send
Right.
it out. They just send it off.
Yeah. There are lots of non-Amazon
Mhm.
businesses that
Yeah.
use
Yes.
their platform.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was just down in Costa Rica and was kind of blown away by just their whole mentality of recycling and protecting the environment.
Mhm.
And I found this one article that I actually started crying when I was down in Costa Rica reading this. So by 2021, they have a national plan to eradicate all single-use plastics.
Wow.
Is this net zero, did you say?
It's Costa Rica.
Costa Rica,
Oh, Costa
the
Rica,
country of
okay.
Costa Rica.
Mhm.
They, for the past 5 years, they have produced between 98 and 99% of their power from sustainable sources
Wow.
for the past 5 years.
Wow.
And they're trying to be carbon neutral by, what date was that? I think it was 2050, but they thought they were going to reach it by
Mhm.
2035.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, like
It
when a
is.
whole country can get behind
Yeah.
something like this. It
Mhm.
was just
I wonder what they
amazing.
do with things like trucking, that's using fuel. That would be very hard to eliminate entirely with electric vehicles.
Right, I think that they use some biofuels, use those for them, and just for all the other things, they have a lot of thermal power there because they have a lot of volcanoes and hot springs and stuff like that, and solar power and wind, and
Yeah.
it is just
And they'll presumably have offsets too,
yes,
don't they?
yeah,
To get that definition carbon neutral.
Right.
yeah. It was very inspirational going down there.
What do you do if you think your grandchildren's carbon footprint is too high? But I'm suffering right now.
How do you mean?
Oh, flying all over.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking about that with having family on
Well,
the
yes,
West
I
Coast.
mean, my son has a daughter, his first daughter is 21.
Mhm.
She's at school in McAllister in St. Paul, Minnesota. And the whole family are flying out for the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's so nice, right?
Well, think about it.
But it's a lot of,
It is.
you know, a lot
I know.
of flying time.
Well, Cape Air is
Yeah.
paving the way with are they electric or what was it again?
Yes,
yeah,
they're
electric.
but
Yeah.
they're very small.
Yeah, and
They're not
they're
going to get you to Michigan.
no, they're not. But it's a good start.
Is it a hovercraft?
No,
No,
it's
no,
an
no,
airplane.
it's a plane.
Small
Really, yeah.
airplanes.
Yeah,
They're
for their small hops. Yeah.
I think they may be able to use them up and down the East Coast, though.
Oh, okay.
They're planning ahead for
Uh-huh.
doing that.
You're
so,
right. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Last thing we have is zero waste public service announcement.
Yes, we have, it's out, it's available to watch on your computer,
Awesome.
on your phone. It's available on Vimeo, and I can put the link on our website, wellfleetrecycles.org.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can watch the public service announcements, which was produced locally.
Mm-hmm.
Mia Baumgarten
Yay, Mia! She did a great job. It's
and
really nifty. And and her
Yeah.
husband.
Gabrielle Griffiths and her husband Corey Fahrenkopf were in it,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll recognize a lot of the Wellfleet places in it.
Right.
It's really great.
Yeah, yeah.
Local
Very nice
places, not
job.
just Wellfleet, but other some
Yeah.
nearby communities too.
Uh-huh.
So thank
Excellent
you, Mia.
job, yeah. Thank you,
So
Mia,
happy
and
to-
excellent job, Lydia, spearheading that whole thing.
Thank you.
Nice work. Minutes, so we have February minutes here. Anybody have any, want to take a minute to look through it? Or?
So Lydia, did you have the cards printed? The
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you do it through?
I did it through Vistaprint.
Vistaprint. Yeah. Okay.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
I was somewhere where I said, oh, we need to have some here. Where was that? COA, yeah.
I bought some
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
the other day.
Propose we approve these?
Anybody second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of approving the February 5th minutes as written?
All right.
Excellent, thank you. And, one other thing I wanted to mention, when we were talking to Hillary, I asked about PFAs in drinking water, which is there in a lot of places, and asked her if the town water had been tested. And she said that Silent Spring Institute tested places all over the country and has a report, so I should look on their website and try to find it. But if anyone has any information about testing of water, and I just want to be equipped when we say that Wellfleet water is safe, and people ask,
Well, they test it regularly, don't they?
They
They
do.
do.
She said that she only hears about it if they're out of compliance or if there's a problem. So
Are you on town water?
no.
I am. I think they're
Oh, you are?
I am, so I should have. And I filed it away.
Uh-huh. Oh, so
You
you
get
get
it
something?
monthly?
So I'll check when I get home.
Yeah, that'd be great.
How do you get the reports? Are they mailed to you or are they
They're mailed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monthly or?
I suspect it's quarterly, but I'm ashamed to
And
say.
how does it taste? Do you like it?
Just fine. Just better than my well used to taste.
Oh, yeah. I don't drink my well water. I mean, I filter it with Brita filters because
Yeah.
it just says. Well, maybe we can have some in our fusti at the town hall to offer people to taste.
Well, that'll be town
Taste
water,
test.
won't it?
Yeah.
Will it be town water down the harbour?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yes, they have town water, and of course the town hall will have town water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to let people know how great it tastes. I mean, I'm sure.
It's supposed to be some of the best.
No,
on
we
the
don't drink it here
Yeah,
because
I
they have.
find it perfectly fine.
Excellent. All righty. Are we ready to adjourn? Okay.
Get out into the sunshine.
Somebody want to make a motion?
Oh, sure. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. All in favor?
All right.
Hey. Okay, we are ending at 2:55.